Welcome to DramaDrip, where the tea never stops spilling. If you're not already part of the crew, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. We want to hear what you think. Things are getting real wild in the world of hip-hop right now. And front and center is Big U, caught in a firestorm that's shaking the whole scene. We're talking leaked wiretaps, jaw-dropping RICO charges, and straight-up wild claims of extortion involving none other than Nipsey Hussle and PnB Rock. This ain't your regular gossip. This is a straight-up storm of secrets and scandals. Now check this. Federal receipts just dropped, and they're painting a straight-up cold picture. It's all about twisted check-ins, shady donations, and a whole lot of behind-the-scenes pressure. And it's all allegedly linked to Big U's so-called non-profit empire.
It was like super messed up because at the end of the day, it was me and Big Useless in there when it happened. So when it happened, I wish I could have just told him like, bro, just give up the jury and we get it back to you later. But it just happened so fast and he wasn't cooperating. And that's when they took it off of him by force. You get what I'm saying? Give it up and then check in with the real people.
Word on the street is this charity front was actually being used to threaten artists like PnB Rock and Nipsey, and according to the rumors, those threats played a role in their tragic deaths.
When Big U had Nipsey Hussle killed, they wanted to exploit the Nip family. That's why Nipsey Hussle's family, Black Sam, them, that's why they closed everything down. They wanted to exploit them people.
That alone has fans losing their minds. But wait, it gets even crazier. There's talk that Quando Rondo might actually testify against Big U. You heard that right? Quando might take the stand and start talking. What's going on behind the scenes? Did Big U really admit to extorting PnB Rock and Nipsey? And is Quando really flipping on him in court? It gets darker. Big U was allegedly caught on federal wiretaps, spilling some heavy stuff. In a taped call from 2023, he straight up said that anybody who crosses him is gonna end up 6 feet under. That's not just bold, that's chilling. I can't nobody beef with me, ninja? Cause if he do, I'm gonna kill him, period. I am going to murder him. That's a direct quote from Big U, caught on a wiretap dated December 31st, 2022. And it's got folks shook. And he wasn't done there. In that same recording, Big U ranted, "What y'all see on the internet? Y'all keep listening to people who ain't got nothing better to do but sell lies. Let me explain something to you." He kept going, saying, "If I had a problem with any man, color, creed, king, or kind, it would have been dealt with. He wouldn't be here. Or I wouldn't be here. This ain't no kid stuff, and barely anybody in this game's been around longer than me. Nobody can stand against me and still say they who they are. If I had beef with anyone, that wouldn't even be funny. I'm still exactly who they say I am." If that made your stomach drop, get ready. That wasn't even the biggest bomb to drop. Because what the RICO indictment revealed, it's next level. Let's talk about Big U's so-called community work. He had a non-profit organization called Developing Options. Sounded good, right? And on top of that, he launched his own label, Unique Music, teaming up with artists like Corrupt and even Nipsey Hussle. From the outside, it looked like he was building up the culture. But behind closed doors, it's a whole different story. Prosecutors claim it was all a front, a shiny cover for a full-on criminal operation. We're talking trafficking, murder, and heavy-duty extortion. And for this video, we're diving deep into those extortion claims. According to court files, a major chunk of the Big U Enterprises activity revolved around extortion schemes, right in the heart of LA. This wasn't random street stuff either. It was structured, strategic, and brutal. See, it wasn't just about the check-in culture. The operation allegedly leaned on both legit and shady businesses, but mainly went after the easier targets, gray market players and underground hustles. And a lot of people paid the price for it. One example, Victim 1, a promoter and marketer who made money through club promotions, worked across state lines, and had ties to not-so-legal weed dispensaries. He got caught up in the extortion mess, as shown through surveillance and monitored payments. The man was forced to cough up cash, and he wasn't the only one. Big U's empire was bigger and darker than anyone realized. Henley and Robinson, also known as Vay, weren't shy at all about how they moved. According to court docs, they made it real clear. If victims didn't cough up money to Big U's crew, violence was on the table. Straight-up threats, intimidation. And it didn't stop there. Big U had a whole extra level to the extortion game. Robberies. Yeah, you heard that right. When victim 1 stopped paying what Big U demanded, Big U had him robbed. Just to send a cold warning. Pay up, or else. And if they wanted their stuff back, they had to pay Big U again. It was like a twisted ransom system. But here's the twist Big U didn't see coming. Victim 1 was actually working with the feds the whole time. The FBI was setting things up behind the scenes. They handed Victim 1 the money used in the extortion plot, wired him up, and recorded conversations where Big U practically snitched on himself. Wild, right? But Victim 1 wasn't the only person caught in the mix. The indictment also brings up Victim 2, and things got just as ugly. Court docs say Henley, Robinson, and a third player named Martin all worked together to extort this second victim. The spot? Deja Vu, a well-known international adult club in Los Angeles. The date? December 2nd, 2021. And it gets crazier. Robinson and Victim 1 actually talked about that whole night later on a recorded call in January 2022. That convo, along with other recordings, interviews, and even social media posts, all lined up with the timeline in the Fed's files. Here's how it went down. Henley threw a birthday bash at Deja Vu and made a deal to get 33% of the bar's profits. Sounds like business, until it wasn't. Henley told the club big-name rappers would show up, hyped up the event, then came back after the party and demanded the entire take from the night. And when they didn't fold, he allegedly threatened serious violence to get every last dollar. Now the names of the victims are being kept out of the court papers, but fans got their own theories. A lot of people think this whole setup was aimed at Nipsey and PnB Rock. And honestly, it's not a wild guess, because the indictment also gets into Big U's personal dealings with Nipsey. You'd think he'd treat him right. He was signed under Big U's label after all. But nope. The court docs tell a different, darker story. Back in 2008, Henley kicked off a connection with rising hip-hop star Ermias Joseph Asghedom, the one and only Nipsey Hussle. Things started off cool, but it didn't stay that way for long. After a few years, Henley dipped out of the music scene following a nasty fallout with Nipsey over some equipment at Henley's shop. That drama spiraled fast. Henley even opened up about it in a docuseries, saying Nipsey fired back with a diss track aimed straight at him. Henley, not one to bite his tongue, clapped back saying, "I'm a scrapper, not a rapper." Yeah, the tension was real. And even after they supposedly squashed the beef, Henley said he still went to pick Nipsey up one morning, just so Nip could get disciplined for that diss track. But the situation didn't go as planned. Nipsey's brother wasn't having it. He shut that down fast, telling Henley straight up that Nipsey wasn't going anywhere with him. Things got heated quick. According to LAPD reports, the whole scene popped off into violence. When officers showed up, there was already a gun involved, and it had been fired. So yeah, whatever peace they claimed to have was clearly short-lived. Now here's where things get even messier. The street's been buzzing that this beef wasn't just about words or tracks. A lot of folks believe Big U had been putting pressure on Nipsey for a minute. And not just regular pressure, we're talking extortion. Big U had a pattern when it came to celebs. He'd hit them with pressure to drop donations to his nonprofit.
Last 5 years, he has donated every year to the organization. I think he gave us $25,000 last year for the football organization. In terms of, we bought football jerseys, uniforms. He paid for our field. He's performed 2 times for us a year for the football program. He, by far, he's done far more for the Crenshaw community than any person up to.
But these weren't friendly requests. It was more like, pay up. or else. And word is, Nipsey was targeted more than once. That charity move? It was Big U's go-to strategy, and even Nipsey wasn't spared from it. Let's take a closer look at this post. The caption says it all. Crenshaw Rams taking all fades. We got the bag from Nipsey and we ready to trip cause SBS got that new drip. We the shooter having fun. Bet y'all high as chapters. Can't do it like me. 11 and up was free. Only $150 a feet and we still doing it bigger every weekend. Wild, right? And it doesn't stop there. Another post popped up, this one straight from Big U himself, and the caption read, Crenshaw Rams wanted to go back to paintball. I spend my free time with these babies and younger people. I love to put smiles on their faces. I'm going to need a loan now. This Crenshaw fund is killing my pockets. I have to say thank you Nipsey Hussle for making this last 2 weekends happen for the team. Your money is working for these kids. We have one more weekend. When can you come? Sounds sweet on the surface, but dig a little deeper and it paints a whole different picture. Big U was out here putting on these so-called charity events, but fans are saying it was just another hustle to drain Nipsey's wallet. He kept Nipsey's name front and center while using his donations to flex. And here's the kicker. According to court docs, Big U wasn't just asking for help. He was embezzling funds from his own nonprofit. So while he was posting about helping the kids, behind the scenes he was pocketing stacks meant for the community. It's no secret Nipsey got fed up. Sources close to him said that when he finally put his foot down and stopped sending money, Big U didn't take it lightly. He even went public, calling Nipsey out and trying to make him look bad.
Don't mean you made it. You know what I mean? Keep it 100. I'm gonna give you this message, real talk. I watched it lose $1 billion. I love my brother Suge Knight. I watched him travel the country. I love all the artists that have been rich and travel the country. I watched come and go in this business. I watched get bags, hit houses, get $1 million and be broke. I watched motherfuckers make 15, 16 million and be broke. What you need to do is be careful who you stepping on your way up. In a, what they say, early rise, early to get tired. While niggas be working and working a steady grind, is grinding and fully getting it. Self-preservation don't happen in one minute or one decision. It's hard work.
Now here's where things get real dark. A lot of fans believe Nipsey standing his ground played a role in what happened next. They think Big U was furious Nipsey wouldn't give in, and some are claiming Big U had a hand in his passing. Sure, Eric Holder is the one who was officially charged. He's behind bars, but for those who still question it, just look at the footage of Big U laughing hours after Nipsey was gone.
Justice for them.
Not mourning, laughing. You tell me what that looks like. And trust, that ain't even the whole story. Fans believe Big U ran the same exact game on PnB Rock back in September 2022. Remember what went down? PnB was at a restaurant in LA with his girlfriend when a masked man ran up trying to snatch his chains. PnB didn't back down, and that decision cost him his life. At first, the case seemed cut and dry. The LAPD traced it back to a father-son crew, Freddie Trone and his teenage son, Tremont Jones. They said Freddie sent his son to hit the lick, and that was that. But things took a strange turn when Big U sat down for an interview and made a very questionable comment. He said PnB could have avoided all that if he'd just cooperated with the check-in.
PnB Rock at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. You know, when it come down to that situation and everything like that, what are your thoughts on what happened to PnB?
I mean, it could happen to everybody. Just to be honest with you, I have spoken on that. It's about greed. You mean greed, envy, same thing I did. I mean, I did that. I was on the other side of, I grew up and I lived on the other side of what PnB Rock was. And we, in our lost mentality, we didn't see that like I see it now as an adult. We in LA, when I go to Chicago, I respect Chicago wholeheartedly. I check in. When I go to Atlanta, I check in. When I go places, I check in. And I don't think nobody is...
Wait, what? That one statement sent shockwaves through the whole industry. Because now folks started looking deeper into these check-ins Big U kept talking about. Turns out, according to the indictment, they weren't just friendly meet and greets. They were part of a system meant to shake people down. The feds laid it all out. Court documents claim Big U and his crew used the so-called check-in system to intimidate celebrities into falling in line. If someone wanted to do business in LA, whether it was music, club appearances, or even illegal stuff, they had to go through Big U first. No exceptions. And it wasn't just rappers. The indictment said even athletes and entertainers were being pulled into this. You had to check in with Big U if you wanted to move freely in LA, or risk serious consequences. That protection they offered? It was just another way to control the streets. And anyone with a name or a following was a target. This whole thing wasn't just business. It was power. And the cost of not playing along? Well, just ask PnB. Henley wasn't just making moves in the streets. He even had a podcast titled Check In, and get this, the theme song wasn't subtle at all. The lyrics went, when you hop off the plane, check in. Penthouse suite, check in. When your feet hit the street, check in. 'Cause if not, shit get hot. You better check in. That song alone spelled out the whole game. And it wasn't just music. This check-in wasn't optional. According to investigators, it was a full-blown system. If you wanted to be active in LA, whether legit or shady, you had to pay the Big U enterprise and ask for permission from Henley himself. That included everything from doing business to even carrying out street-level violence. And if you didn't check in, you were basically asking for beef. So what does this mean for PnB Rock? Fans have been connecting the dots and believe that robbery at the restaurant wasn't just a random hit. They think it was a setup, a warning to force PnB into checking in. And that theory blew up even more after a Crip member named Loose Cannon dropped a bombshell. He said he and Big U were in the same restaurant when PnB got hit. Even crazier, he claimed all PnB had to do was check in, and he would have lived.
Rock got killed in the
Roscoe's.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, see, so I felt it was like super messed up because at the end of the day, it was me and Big Useless in there when it happened. So when it happened, I wish I could have just told him like, bro, just give up the jury and we get it back to you later. But it just happened so fast and he wasn't cooperating. And that's when they took it off of him by force.
That's not some internet rumor. That's someone from the inside saying it out loud. Now, for those thinking this all sounds too wild to be true, check this out. SKG, an artist who used to be signed to Death Row, went off on Instagram and dropped a whole different scandal involving Big U. She said Big U had been extorting Corrupt for years. Not just threats, she claimed Big U beat Corrupt like a runaway slave, right in front of Snoop and Daz. She said it was the most humiliating thing she'd ever seen. And it didn't stop there. SKG said Big U walked into Corrupt's trailer while he was filming a video, roughed him up, and then laughed about it to her like it was a joke. Her exact words? And Corrupt got the nerve to call him Big Brother. And don't say I'm lying. There were plenty of people there. This ain't just one story. It's a pattern. How do you do something like that to someone you claim is family? That's the question people keep asking when it comes to Big U and Corrupt. But don't expect Corrupt to speak on it. He's been silent. Still, SKG made sure the truth didn't stay buried. And she ain't the only one Big U's gotta worry about. Now there's serious buzz that Quando Rondo might end up taking the stand, and honestly, it adds up. Quando's been deep in the gang world, and with all the legal pressure he's been under lately, this could be his way out. Flipping on Big U could earn him some serious favors with the system. And let's be real, Big U's already got enough heat coming his way. From wiretaps to federal indictments to artists calling him out, the walls are closing in fast. If Quando really steps up and starts testifying, it could blow the whole thing wide open. It's no longer just rumors or side talk. The court docs, the surveillance, the threats, the check-ins, the forced donations. It's all stacking up. And with each new voice that speaks up, Big U's grip on power gets shakier. So now we gotta ask, Did Big U really extort Nipsey and PnB Rock? Was he behind the pressure, the setups, the threats? And is Quando about to become the one who tips it all over? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to DramaDrip. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Check out the next video to keep riding this wave of madness.